At 5:30? It is. I think we'll just go ahead and get started, and as people trickle in, they can just pick up where we are. Happy Easter to all of you who celebrate Easter. This is also our first springtime Yin-Tuition circle. So these are the monthly Yin Yoga classes where we use our practice of Yin Yoga to help the body and the mind, really, and the heart come into that soft, relaxed, receptive state so that you can receive intuitive guidance. And we're going to play with that tonight. It is springtime. It's our first springtime intuition circle. And with spring, we have shifted energies. So we just finished up winter and water season, and that's according to Taoism and Chinese medicine, all of the seasons, and they actually include 5, not just 4, are named for the element in nature which is perceived to be dominant. So we just went from water, the deepest, yiniest time, winter, and now we've just entered into the beginning of the yang phase of the year with wood energy. So wood is that plant energy moving up from yin out into the world. So let's go ahead and we're going to start with legs up the wall. And I'm just going to demo this for you. And if for any reason you don't have a convenient wall, that's okay. You can always do legs up the sofa, legs up the desk. But let me show you the easiest way to come in. Okay. So if you are at a wall, you sit sideways and you kind of simultaneously swing your lower body down as you bring the legs up. And depending on how tight the hamstrings are, you want to get your legs as straight as is comfortable. If you bend the knees, and have your hips as close to the baseboard as possible. Now, a couple options for those of you who might be a little more used to this position is to elevate the hips. And you can do that with a block or a bolster. And we do just the same thing. Sit sideways and swing up. And then you often kind of have to scoosh your hips to get them close to the wall. So go ahead and come into that. Again, if it's easier to just put legs up the sofa or up on the desk, that's fine. We're just getting the feet up a little higher than the heart, which is always a very restorative space to be in for your nervous system. They call it in yoga, in Yin Yoga, we call this waterfall. In Hatha Yoga, it's called Viparita Karani or candlestick pose, but it's also known as beauty pose. And Iyengar, one of the famous yogis of India, always said that you should do this every day for about 30 minutes a day to counteract the effects of aging. So we won't be doing it for 30 minutes, but we'll give it a good shot. All right, so we have a big month coming up ahead, at least astrologically. If you are an Aries or a fire sign, wow, this is your month. There's going to be like 8 planets in Aries this month. And Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's all about getting out and moving. And it's very much in sync with the wood energy of Taoism, because wood energy, we've been resting, restoring all winter, and wood's like a teenager behind the wheel. You just want to get out and get their freedom. So a lot like Pisces energy, we still have some of that nice yin, so we're kind of in that transition time. And the real key at this time of the year to stay harmonious and stay peaceful is to keep your connection to that inward yin, your yinny roots close to the earth, while you start to become more active and oriented towards the outside world. So let's take a deep breath. And just notice what's present right now for you. This is not a trick question. This is just about allowing space and acknowledgement for what is, and it's okay if you're having a hard day. It's okay if you're exhausted. Everything's included. So just notice, first of all, any sensations that you're aware of in the body. What do you notice? It's great to see some old friends here. I see Nancy, Cindy, Shecky. Okay, and you might particularly notice the felt sense of your body on the ground, the feel of your feet against the wall, and any internal sensations. And then just notice if there's any feeling states present. How you're feeling emotionally today. And again, you don't have to change anything. We're just giving some space to what is. And now start to observe the quality of your mind. And all I mean by that is, does the mind feel kind of heavy, tired? It's towards the end of the day. You've been running around a lot, or is it racy? Is it ping, 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 ping? Are you having a hard time settling it? We're just checking in to know where we're starting. No judgment, no story. And then let's start to connect with our breath. So start to feel the breath and really feel the sensations that are created in the body just from that simple process of breathing. Where do you feel it? See if you can start to slow down the breath just a little, particularly the exhale. And as you breathe in, just allow each inhale to be an invitation to drop deeper inside. And let each exhale be an invitation to let go. Letting go of the holding in the body, any unnecessary clenching or bracing or gripping. Each exhale, just like you're melting, see if you can soften. And then start to do the same thing with the mind. So with each inhale, start to come in and down away from that frontal part of the brain, the chattery part. And on the exhale, releasing any unnecessary following of thoughts, gripping to thoughts. Can almost imagine as the thoughts come in, just seeing the words themselves dissolve. And let the mind become more quiet and more spacious. And then feel the heaviness of the part of the body that's connected to the ground. So the hips, the back, the head, the arms. Let all of that be really heavy, really released. And just experience the feet as light, lightness. And this experience of feeling both the heaviness, the weightedness, the release of the body into the ground, while at the same time experiencing the effortlessness and lightness of the feet resting against the wall. This really gives you a felt sense in the body of what's going on right now in nature with this wood energy. So, what right now, all these sprouts, they've got deep roots. That's where they started in the ground. Feel that connection to the earth. But at the same time, those new buds are reaching up to the light. And that is the cycle that the light pulls us up and out of the darkness. Can you feel both the heaviness, the weightedness, and the lightness at the same time? It's kind of like roots and wings. I used to teach a lot of prenatal yoga, and we'd always talk about that as a parent. That what we need to offer children is roots and wings. You give them the roots so that they feel safe, but ultimately safe enough so they can use those wings. And that's a little bit of what wood energy is. If a healthy wood, if we stay connected to that inner sense of who we are, that connection to spirit, to source, whatever you name it, we have much more trust and faith to go out and do things in the world in ways that are aligned more with our values and with our true soul's path. And if you're interested, I will be teaching a online series. So it's an online yin course. We meet every Thursday, and it's all about wood energy and the spiritual warrior. So the information, if you're interested, if you want to get on the wait list, is down at the bottom of this description. So for now, take another deep breath. And just like those sprouts that are reaching up towards the light, I want you to imagine a big, beautiful sun above you. And I want you to feel that warmth and that light on your body. And just like ice melting in the sun, just let that felt sense of warmth and just kind of goodness and yumminess, let that start to soften and melt whatever feels hard. And at this point, the legs are straight up, but if you would prefer now to bring the soles of the feet together, you can do that. Then you just bring the knees and just bring the soles of the feet together, still at the wall. Okay, now imagine this felt sense of the sun beaming down right at your heart space. And let that warmth open that area, warming it, melting any tension or tightness there, and connecting you in with that warm, yummy feeling of love. And just thinking about something that you will feel grateful for. Perhaps for today, it is beautiful here in Portland. It's been very warm and the flowers are stunning. Anything that you saw, experienced, noticed, felt, something about this day that was beautiful, magical, inspiring, uplifting, moving. Feel that in your heart and feel a deep sense of gratitude for that. And then, with that warmth in the heart, see if you can spread that warm feeling throughout your body. So, up, all the way up to the feet, all through the chest and shoulders and arms, all through the face. And imagine the energy of your body not only softening, but now slightly expanding, as if literally you are melting. And your energy body, your energetic body is much wider than where the actual flesh and bone end. So just see if you can notice that, if you can feel that. Okay, we're gonna be here just for a few more moments. Now start to sense that warmth, that energy of the sun beaming right down at that spot between the eyebrows, that third eye spot. And again, feeling a sense of warmth there, opening, widening, so that you can discern what is true for you in this confusing and chaotic world. Let that light, that warmth come in as your connection to ultimate truth. And then ask yourself, what truth is wanting to be known? What is true for me right now? Just be patient. Don't grasp. Just allow and notice feelings, images, colors, sounds. Even if it doesn't make sense to that rational mind. What is true for me now? What truth wants to be known? Let's go ahead now and rub the hands and place one hand at the center of your chest. The other hand can either go on top of that hand or on your belly, and just feel that comforting warmth of your own touch. And just affirm that I am deeply connected to the part of me that is connected to it all. I trust the part of me that knows everything. I open and trust my intuition. Okay, take a deep breath in. And go ahead and lower the knees down into your chest. And maybe just push yourself away from the wall just a little bit, not too far. You can just rock side to side. If you're still at the wall, put your feet on the wall, hands behind your head, and just lift up your head. Bring the chin to the chest, elbows in towards your face. And then as you release your head back down, gently pull the skull away from the shoulders as you carefully lower the head down. And then we'll roll to the side and come up. And we're going to come back away from the wall, back to your mat. And we are going to come in to a little squat. So tonight we are going to be working with yin poses that target the meridians of the wood element, which are the liver and the gallbladder meridians. It's mostly on the lower legs. The liver meridian runs on the inside of the thighs. Gallbladder is more on the outer edge. So we'll do some hip openers. And we're going to start with a little squat, but I'm going to give you some options. So the traditional squat that we do in yin, and I'm going to pull this down just so you can see my feet, is a wide kneed squat. You drop the hips down, and this is the yinny part, so your hips just kind of hang. You bring your elbows into the inside of the knees and let everything drop. Now, this doesn't work for everybody. So if you prefer, you can do this on a block like this. You can either have your ankles right underneath the knees, or you can come onto the outer edge of the feet and let the knees just flop. And if you don't have a block, you can also do this at the wall. You just take all your weight, just let the wall take the weight, and you just rest here. It's actually pretty comfortable. But if you're up for it, and you want to come down, you can do that. If the heels don't come to the ground, it's best to roll up either your mat or a blanket and just put a little wedge under the heels so that they have some feedback there. It just helps the nervous system relax. When we're kind of hanging in space, the nervous system's like, oh God, what's happening? So let's come into it, and I'll do it with you. So that we are, I have to FYI, I'm actually a squatter. I do love to squat. I know not everyone does, but this is so important. If you sit a lot, drive a lot, and you use non-ergonomic chairs, where we're mostly like this. So we sit when we drive, the spine's usually rounded, and we have all this compression down in the low back. This can actually help release that. Okay. And what I really want you to feel, if you can, close your eyes and feel your feet. So like I said, there's lots of predictions out there by both astrologers and psychics that April's going to be pretty exciting. Quotes. So we need to keep our feet on the ground and our nervous systems calm so that we can be those guiding lights for others, if you're able to. And being grounded in the body, being relaxed in the body, having the nervous system calm is absolutely key to connecting with and getting into that state of presence where you have access to the field, to the quantum field, where we have all that information available to us. So we're just take a few more breaths. We do stay a bit longer in yin poses. Okay, so we are going to come out of it. And if you're freestanding squat, you can just sit down. If you're on the block, just lift your hips up and remove it. If you're at the wall, come on back. And we'll do some windshield wipers. So just bend your knees, have your feet a little wider, just a little wider than your hips. And we'll just rotate the knees to one side, turn your head in the opposite direction, and then switch Oh, it feels good. Switch. Switch. Okay. Now we're going to do that again, but we're going to do it in a figure 4 shape. So we'll take the right ankle, let me show you, it might be easier. Right ankle onto the left thigh. And this is a loose figure 4. So we don't have that left heel real close into the glute. It's fairly far out. Okay. You're resting on your hands behind you. And this is what we'll do. We'll inhale here. On the exhale, rotate over onto that left hip. Oh, should feel good. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Ooh. We'll do 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, twist. And last time. This one will hold. So inhale here. Exhale, twist. You have all your weight back in your left hand. And if you want to, you can bring the right hand to the inside of the knee and gently draw it forward. You know, with Yin, we don't use a lot of force, but you can push forward just to maybe feel a little stretch here in the outer hip, which is where that gallbladder meridian lies. So the liver, all the organs in Chinese medicine have, you know, their anatomical function, but they also have an energetic function. And the gallbladder is the decision maker. So if you are indecisive, you might have some gallbladder qi stagnation. The liver is the visionary. Gallbladder is the decision maker. Okay, now we're going to come back to center. Now I want you to watch this because now we are going to bring this left heel close into the glute. And we're going to push down actively with our hands, lift up the chest. Okay, so this is more yang because we're pushing down and lifting up. And I just want you to feel that right hip. Take a few breaths. And then we'll lie down on our backs and we're going to take that left leg up in the air. Now, if you are able to keep the head and shoulders off the ground, you might grab hold of the calf and just bring the chin into the chest and do a few deep breaths. If that bothers your neck, just leave the head on the ground and just bring your hands somewhere on the leg. Okay, we're all going to relax the head down now, and we'll bend this left knee, and then we're just going to continue to draw the legs in towards the rib cage. Now, if you feel that you're straining your shoulders to hold onto the legs, if you have a strap, that's an easy way to alleviate that tension. And you would just wrap the strap around that left shin and hold it there. And it's a great way to get leverage without having to strain the shoulders. Okay, so the key here is relaxing the hips. And it's a place where there's often a lot of tightness and holding, gripping. So just notice if that's true. And you don't have to do anything other than in your mind, just in a loving way, say to your hip, it's okay. You can relax. You can let go. And then again, just like the experience of the sun shining down on ice or butter or wax, just feel a sense of warmth, melting and opening what feels hard and stuck. And this to me is such the beauty of Yin, because these lessons are so important, not only for being able to access intuition, because you can't be in that rigid, effortful stance. You gotta let it go. You gotta surrender. But if you are interested in the spiritual life and going deeper on the spiritual path, really the only way is through letting go of that ego, softening the ego. And we can learn all about it here through the body in our yin practice. So let's take a few more deep breaths. Okay. Now we're going to change position slightly. And we're going to come into a twist. So if you happen to have a bolster or block handy, go ahead and place it over to your left, to the left side of the body, and then just watch me in the screen. I'm just going to slide this right knee on top of the left. And in yin, we do this cute little thing. We wrap our top foot around the calf on the bottom. You don't have to do it. It just puts a little extra pressure on some acupressure points, meridian points. So what we're going to do is just lift the hips up a little bit and let them drop over to the left. Now the key is, as much as you can, you want to keep this right shoulder close to the ground. And traditionally in yin, we take the arms straight back behind us as opposed to out in a T, which you see more often. Sometimes this bothers people's shoulders to go straight back. And if that's the case, better not to do it. So in yin, we are looking for sensation. Not every yin pose is, like a piece of chocolate, just gooey and yummy, but we don't ever want to go into pain or really even strain, because that can gum up your chi. We want it to flow. And the way that chi flows is when you are relaxed and feeling safe. So deep breath, and just each time you shift positions, come back to that idea. Deep breath in, long exhale out. I'm letting go. I'm releasing, melting, softening. And notice the places in the body where you don't always expect that you're holding tension. One place is the face. Can you soften your face a little more? Another is the belly. So sometimes just bring awareness just to your belly. You suddenly go, oh, yeah, I am kind of gripping there. We're so unconscious most of the time. And, it's habitual. We get used to patterns of contraction in the body. It kind of unfortunately feels normal, even being in fight or flight all the time. If you live in America, that can just kind of feel normal. And so we need these gentle, slow practices to bring us back to what is true. In fact, there's a great Chinese expression that goes, tension is who you think you should be. Relaxation is who you really are. Take that in. I just think that's so cool. That's like everything in a nutshell. Because who you think you should be is that ego. So tension, you could say stress, tension, stress is who you think you should be. Relaxation, ease, openness, softness, That's who you really are. That's closer to your true nature. Your true nature is not stressed. When you're truly in presence, you aren't stressed. That's all a mind thing. Okay. We are going to come out of the shape. So we're just going to roll onto our back. And I always like to shake out the legs a little. And then we'll bring the knees into the chest and rock a couple of times on your spine and come all the way back up. And we're just going to reverse the whole process. So we're going to come back to our figure 4 shape. This time we'll do left ankle on right thigh, hands behind you. Remember, it's a loose shape, so your foot's fairly far forward, the right foot. Okay. And then take an inhale. Exhale, rotate. Woo. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate. And we'll do it one more time. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate. Weight in your right hand. Take the left hand to the inside of the knee and just gently draw that knee forward. Close your eyes and just feel that. Feel that outer hip. That's where your gallbladder meridian lies. Okay, release. We come back to center, and now we're going to pull this right heel in. So we get really smushed up, like we're almost like a crumpled piece of paper. And then you're going to actively push down into your hands, actively lift the chest up, and just feel that left hip. So this shape, if it reminds you of anybody, anyone who is on the back of the truck, on big trucks with flowing hair, the mud flap girl, this is her position. Okay, now we're going to slowly lie down and we're going to straighten the right leg. If you're comfortable with the head off the ground, just grab hold of your calf and draw the leg towards your face for about 3 or 4 breaths. If it's better for you to have the head on the ground, that's great. You can just hold on to the knee or any place that's comfortable for you. Just a few more breaths. And then when you're ready, go ahead and bend that right knee. And we're going to continue to draw the legs in towards the rib cage. And a couple ways you can do that. You can have your hands behind the right thigh, if that's a little bit more accessible, or on top of the shin. And then again, if you feel like you're just reaching and stressing your shoulders, if you have a strap or something that like a strap, you can just wrap it around the legs and use that to draw them closer to the ribs. And then once you come into the position, your job is just to take a deep breath and let go. So we didn't do this on the first side, but interesting. And I don't exactly know why, other than the fascia in the body is all connected. But your jaw and tension in the jaw is related to tension in the hips. So one thing I like to do in my classes when we're doing hip openers is a good horse breath. So like blowing a raspberry, that's a horse breath. So you'll get a little humor out of this. So you just take a deep breath and you go, and it's so effective. Almost immediately, you feel like that tension and tightness in your jaw is suddenly like little cotton balls. So do that a couple times if you're at home and in a private place and you just want to let it rip. Blow a few raspberries. Being in a yin shape is not just like a hip opener. It's not just about relaxing the hip. I mean, that's an obvious target, but you want the whole system relaxed. The face, the jaw, the shoulders, and most importantly, the mind. Just take a few more deep breaths here. Okay. Now, once again, we're going to transition into the twist. So we're just going to slide that left knee on top of the right. If you want to do the double wrap, you can. You don't have to. It's nice for many of us to have something to support the legs. So maybe you have a bolster or a block. If not, don't worry. We're just going to allow the knees to drop over to the right. Take the left arm, if it's comfortable, for your shoulders, straight back behind you. I always like my other hand just resting on the knees. And then that's getting into the shape. The real magic is the allowing, the release. Such an interesting concept for the Western mind to get this idea of that there's power in the not pushing, in the not effort. The power is in releasing and becoming one with. And you can think of that energetically. When we are stressed, we're contracted. We stay like that, and it feels normal. Just like before, when we relax, it opens, it softens. And then we become more aware that we aren't just these solid pieces of flesh. We actually are more than that. We have energy that extends far out beyond this body, and that energy is bumping up and connected to all the energy that's around. So we are all connected all the time. But we go through this illusion in life that we are separate, and we have to do it all ourselves, alone. Hard work. But right now, your work is to rest. A couple more breaths. Okay, from here, let's go ahead and release that left arm if you had it back behind you. Roll back onto your back and shake out the legs. In fact, while we're here, let's do some ankle circles. And if it's more comfortable for your low back, you can sit on your hands. Sometimes that takes a little pressure off. Reverse direction. And then we'll point and flex. So go ahead and point the toes and then flex them like you're bringing the toes back towards your face. Point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. And then just tap the inside of your feet. And we'll bring the knees into the chest, rock side to side, and then we'll rock right back up to seated. And we're going to come into our final shape, which will be a reclined butterfly. So if you happen to have a bolster or something that's serving as a bolster, you're going to put that down. You might, if you happen to have two very nice pillows or bolsters, you could even elevate this a little bit, or you could use a block. So it's kind of more like a lounge chair. That's up to you. And if you don't have anything, you can do this perfectly flat on the floor without any props. So let me just show you the standard version. If you're using a bolster, you're going to sit in front of it, grab my block, and then you'll lie down over it. You're going to bring the soles of the feet together. And if you have blocks or throw pillows, you can support the legs by placing those right underneath the knees. And that's nice because we're going to be here for a little bit. And this will just give you more support so that you can actually let go more. So again, safety and security allows us to trust so that we can relax, so that we can open. Props provide that. So get yourself comfortable. And we're going to explore the month ahead. Okay, so if they aren't already, go ahead and close your eyes. And again, just feel the body. Feel the body and feel where it makes contact with the props or with the floor. And just like you're in the sunshine or relaxing in a warm bath, allow your body to experience that sense of, when you first drop into a hot tub and you're like, oh, yeah, just, let's go. See if you can do that just with your imagination, that feeling of being in a warm bath or having sun on your face. Maybe the taste of chocolate does it for you. It is, it's quite a chocolate day. My son has a huge bunny he's working through. Okay, and just notice that. Notice that felt sense of ease, of kind of yummy, just feel good, deep relaxation. Every exhale again, an opportunity to let go of a little bit more. And see if you can connect with that feeling of either melting or dissolving. So there's no sharp edges. You're just melting into the field. And let's take our hands to our belly. And we're just going to do some slow belly breaths. So when you're ready, let out the breath. And we'll inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Letting the belly expand. And exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, we're going to grow the count. So inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhaling for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now try to keep the breath low in the belly and slow, particularly the exhale. Really watching the exhale just flow out to its ultimate conclusion. We often start our next inhale before we're completely done with the exhale. So take a couple breaths to just really experience how long the exhale actually takes. And you'll know that you've completed the exhale fully because the inhale will just kind of rush right in. Okay. And now we're going to ask that wonderful analytical thinking, planning part of our mind to just take a rest. So we're going to say, thank you for all you do. Would you just retreat backwards? In fact, you can even imagine the brain relaxing away from the front of the skull, just softening. Sometimes I can just kind of turn it off. And we're going to allow the more fluid, the more visual, the more symbolic part of our mind to step forward. And we're going to connect with light. Light energy really helps to raise our vibration. And when we're trying to connect with the field, if you call it the quantum field, or your guides, or your higher self, you've got to get your system at that same vibratory energy, frequency. That's the word I was looking for. So just imagine above you this orb of light. It could be representing the sun, but just an orb of light that is the ultimate source of truth. And start to feel, maybe you see, if you're visual, light just streaming down on you like rain or like rays. Filling your head, feeling your throat, your chest, your solar plexus, your hips, pelvis, your tailbone, all the way down to your legs, all through your arms. You're just receiving light. And as you do, you actually feel a little bit lighter, as in less heavy. Almost a sense of floating, expanding. Just see if you can feel inside your system full of light, the light of truth. Maybe it pulses, or maybe it sparkles. And it just rains over you, just allowing this deep sense of peace and ease, just a sense of all rightness within yourself and within the world. And then bring your awareness back to the heart space. Think about a being. Could be a human, it could be an animal, past or present, something that you deeply, deeply love. See that being smiling. Feel that sense of gratitude for having them in your life or having had them in your life. Just feel the love that you share. And then see if you can allow that feeling of deep, pure love to just expand through the body. Okay. And we're going to connect the third eye with the heart. So on the inhale, I want you to imagine a light or just feel energy moving from the third eye down to the heart. And while we do that, while we inhale down to the heart, we're going to say, I love you. On the exhale, you're going to see the light or feel the energy come back towards the third eye while we say internally, I'm listening. And this can be directed to your guides, to your higher self, to God, Goddess, Source. Inhaling down, I love you. Exhale, releasing back up. I'm listening. Inhaling, I love you. Exhaling, I'm listening. Inhale, I love you. Exhale, I'm listening. Do that 5 more times on your own. Okay. Feeling safe, feeling warm, feeling full of light. I want you to ask your guides, your higher self, Source, the quantum field. In general, what will the month of April be like? Just be patient. Let it come to you. Noticing feelings, sensations in the body, emotional tones, images, sounds, words. In general, what will the month of April be like? If it had a color, what color would it be? What would be its theme song? Now, for you individually, what what surprises might April bring? What opportunities might present themselves? Are there any potential challenges or roadblocks that I should be aware of? Now, intuitive messages are subtle and they're usually symbolic. Sometimes they can be surprisingly direct, but our intuition will often use what we have, memories, experiences. You might have just thinking about the month, you might have seen yourself, someplace. And then you ask yourself, and that analytical part, which is also an important part of the brain, then needs to make connections, make it make sense. So, what was I doing then? What did it feel like? What does it remind me of? Those are always good questions. You get a symbol or a sound. What does that remind me of? How does it make me feel emotionally or even physically? But don't worry if things don't make sense. I was doing this one month, and when it was something, I think it was something unexpected or opportunities, I saw frogs. And that was it made no sense. I wrote it down, didn't think too much, I don't know, maybe I'll see a frog. But that was the month that Portland was having all the protests against ICE, and we all danced. I didn't personally, but people were all dressed up in frogs. That was the big thing. So you just never know. All right, let's take a deep breath. Let's rub our hands together. And again, place one hand at the center of the chest, the other hand on the belly. And just feeling gratitude for anything that showed up, even if it didn't make sense. And then go ahead and release your hands. We're going to straighten the legs if you still have them in butterfly. Go ahead and circle the ankles. Turn your head gently from side to side. This one wants to come. This one wants to come. And just take a few moments to roll off of your bolster. And slowly make your way back to seated. Where's my third one? Here it is. Okay. So when you come back to seated, I want you to look at these 4 cards. I always try to choose 3 and always get an extra one. All right, so this is number 1. This is number 2. This is number 3. This is number 4. So let me spread them out. And just, what are you drawn to? Pick one. And if you're really drawn to 2, that's fine. Okay, let's go. So those of you who picked number 1, so I chose from, this is called the Nature Speak Oracle by Ted Andrews. I love him. He's done a lot of books and has a couple of decks, but all his stuff is about nature and animals and the symbolism within nature and animals. And since it's wood season, I thought we would, a lot of these are trees. So the first one, if you chose number 1, it's aspen, shed the old. So often looks like that in fall, particularly in Colorado. So your message for this month, shed the old. The April energy is also very much about starting and doing new things, but we can't do that unless we get rid of the old first. Okay, number 2. cattail, spread seeds. Okay, so this is perfect. This is like throw, throw the ideas out there, spread some seeds, take some chances. Try one thing, it doesn't work out, try something else. Just test the waters, spread seeds, get out there. Very, very wood. Very, very wood energy. Number 3, lake and pond. And it says, spirit is about. So whenever you have meeting points like earth, water, like at oceans or any place where there's two combination of two elements, those are liminal places, and that's where where it's a little more, more veil thin kind of thing. So spirit is about. You've got some help this month. That's awesome. Use it. Ask for help. Use it. Ask for what you want and say, I need very clear directions of what to do next. And then wait and receive. And last but not least, for those of you who chose 4, it is birch. Heal the past. So isn't that interesting that we had released the past and heal the past? I guess we all need to do a lot of letting go to bring in this new reality, which we are in the process of in America. So keep the faith. Wood energy is a lot about hope. So yeah, we may see some things dissolving away, but it's all in service to creating what's new. Thank you all for showing up. It was so fun to be here with you. We do this every month, first Sunday. It's usually not a holiday. First Sunday of the month at 5:30. And again, if you're interested in more regular Yin Yoga classes online, I do offer that. And there, if you go down the bottom of the description of this video, you can sign up to be on the wait list for the next. The next class is starting at the end of April for 8 weeks. All right, everyone. Happy Easter, happy spring, happy wood and start of yang phase. May we all stay grounded as we connect to the world outside. Namaste. So good to see you all. Take care. Adios, amigos. Thank you. You're sweet. Thank you so much.